So welcome everyone to this webinar for the 17th call on JPIAMR. This is the last call within JPIAMR and it will be on AMR interventions. We're happy to see so many of you here today. So before we start, I just want to let you know that we are recording this session and this will be sent out to people who cannot join and so on. And during the webinar, the Secretariat and funders will be happy to answer any of your questions. And please use the Q&A function, which you can find for questions about the call. And then you can use the chat function for networking between yourselves. So, so the agenda looks like this. So I'll start with an introduction to JPIAMR, and then the call secretariat, the Israel Ministry of Health, will take over and talk about the topics of the call: One Health settings, eligibility, call timeline, pre-proposal submission form, submission platform, the PT outline, evaluation criteria. And then in the end, the National Science Center in Poland will introduce you to the partner search tool that we use. So my name is Elizabeth Hedström and I work at the JPIAMR Secretariat. So JPIAMR was launched in 2011. It's a global organization. And it aligns national research funding and coordinates AMR research and funding on a global scale. And it supports the One Health perspective. So just a bit of an overview. So far we have invested 170 million euros into 173 projects and networks. These include 1,821 researchers from 82 different countries. And in the map here, you can see the location of the researchers. And 42% of our projects have a One Health aspect. So JPIAMR has 6 priority areas of the SRIA, the Scientific Research and Innovation Agenda. And the calls are then scattered among these areas. So it's therapeutics, transmission, interventions, diagnostics, surveillance, and environment. And the percentage that you can see here in the middle is the percentage of the total budget that has gone to the different topics. So you see therapeutics and surveillance are on top, and then followed by environment, transmission, interventions, and diagnostics. So here are a few of the outputs from JPIAMR. So we have scientific articles, book chapters, thesis, computer models or algorithms, assay technologies, databases, softwares, white papers, best practice roadmap frameworks, and patents. So as I said, this is the last call within JPIAMR. The next step will be the new One Health AMR partnership, which is planned to start in next year. And then we will have this One Health scope of the partnership. So just to see what has been done so far and what we're planning. So as I said, JPIAMR was launched 2011. And since then, we have supported AMR research with 170 million euros total investment. So now we are working with designing the new partnership, which we started with 2022. And the launch of the partnership will be in 2025. So if you have any more questions or want any more information, please subscribe to our newsletter or follow us on social media, and also follow any updates from national agencies. So with that, I'll hand over the screen to Ronit and the call secretariat.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I will share my screen. Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
Great. Okay, so thank you everyone again for joining us. I'm Ronit. I'm from the Chief Scientist Office of the Israeli Ministry of Health, and we are the Joint Call Secretary for the Impact Call, entitled The Interventions Moving Forward to Promote Action to Counteract the Emergence and Spread of Bacterial and Fungal Resistance and to Improve Treatments. We have an estimated budget of 17.7 million, and the call opened on January 10th. Okay, you have already seen the agenda, so I'm going to move on to the topics of the call. So we have two topics for this year's call. The first topic is a fungal topic, and we need your proposal to address one of the two topics. So the first topic is design novel or improved interventions to prevent, mitigate, or treat fungal infections which are resistant to treatments or are at risk of developing resistance. The novel interventions for this topic can include, but are not limited to, prevention strategies, treatments based on new or existing compounds or technologies, improved or novel diagnostics or surveillance. So this is only a fungal topic. It's a broad topic. So you can either do something that is completely new or improve something that is already existing in the interventions. The second topic is both fungal and bacterial, but this topic is aiming to improve, compare, and evaluate existing interventions. We have improve, compare, or evaluate strategies, technology, treatments, method, protocols, and data collection based on existing interventions, which are aiming to reduce the emergence or spread of antibacterial and antifungal resistance. So in order to make it easier for you, we have had two subtopics for this topic. The one will be improve, compare, or evaluate effectiveness of existing interventions, cost effectiveness, clinical utility, socio-economical adaptability, and reducing AMR, emergence, spread, transmission, and treatments. And the second subtopic is to identify the barriers to uptake, including factors leading to the success or failure of previously run pilot interventions, and when applicable, design solutions to overcome them. So for the second topic, the prevention and mitigation intervention can include, but are not limited to, these are a few examples: treatment, wastewater, medical treatments, technological protocols, social, societal, and behavioral interventions, and stewardship efforts. So there is a difference between the two topics. The first one, for the fungal, you can also do something that is new completely. For this one, you have to be based on something that is already existing. In terms of the One Health settings, so in the framework of this call, the proposal can focus with any one individual health setting, One Health setting, and are encouraged to include more than one health setting when possible. The settings that are included in this call are human health, animal health, plants, and the environment. And please note that the eligibility of a considered One Health setting may depend on your funding organization. All the national rules for the different organizations you can find in the call text at the end of the call text in the Annex B. The adequacy of a proposal with the topics will be assessed by the evaluation panel. So what do we have out of scope? Antivirals and antiparasitics, proposals solely aiming to treat plant or animal infections without any link to human health, and proposals that are aiming to extend existing or implement new surveillance systems. So this is the most important part, because we get a lot of questions about this. Who can apply? So we have two groups of countries that can apply for this call. The first group is researchers from countries with participating funding organizations. You have here the list of the countries that have funding organizations. A researcher from these countries can ask for funding and can also be a coordinator of a proposal. Researchers from other countries can join the consortium at own cost in kind as a non-funded partner and still benefit from the international collaboration. This is the list of countries and funding organizations. You have this all in the call text. And the second thing I'm going to talk to you about is the eligibility of a consortium composition. So we have a few rules for JPIAMR in this matter. The first one, you have to have a minimum of 3 funded project partners from 3 different eligible countries, including at least 2 EU or EU-associated countries, and no more than 2 partners from the same country. And I have here some examples to make it clearer. For example, a consortium with Spain, France, and Israel. You have here 3 funded partners, 2 EU and 1 associated country, so this consortium is eligible. Second example, Spain, Israel, and Canada. You still have 3 funded partners, you have a minimum of 2 EU members or associated countries, so it is also eligible. Third example, Spain, France, and Congo. You don't have a minimum here of 3 funded partners, as Congo cannot be funded. So a consortium like this will not be eligible. Another example, 3 partners from Spain, 1 from France, 1 from Germany. We have more than 2 project partners from the same country, so this is not eligible. Next example, Canada, Australia, and France. This one does not include at least 2 EU member states or associated countries, so it will not be eligible. The maximum of project partners, I talked about the minimum, the maximum of project partners in a consortium is 6, including the non-funded partners. The funded project partners must be a majority. So I will give you some example. If we have Spain, France, UK, Congo, Canada, and Australia, we have a maximum of 6 partners. The majority are funded, so this consortium is eligible. The second example, we have Spain, France, Congo, Denmark, and Estonia. We have a majority of non-funded partners, and therefore the consortium will not be eligible. And the last example, we have Spain, France, UK, Australia, Congo, and Denmark. The majority are funded, so a consortium will be eligible. And you can find in the call text, we have a diagram with all these rules. We also have a widening possibility. So you can increase the number of partners to 7 under certain conditions. First one is at least one of the project partners is from an underrepresented country. The underrepresented countries for the purpose of the impact call are Hungary, Lithuania, Latvia, Moldova, and Poland. Or if you have at least 1 project partner which meets the definition of an early career researcher. For the purpose of this call, it's a PhD holder up to 8 years after the year of PhD holding a position at a recognized institute. And we have some extensions eligible. Or if one of the project applicants is a company. So this is the timeline for the call. This is the most important. We opened the call we launched it on January 10th, and you will be able to submit your proposals until March 14th at 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, the system will close. Then all the proposals will go through a scientific evaluation by an international expert panel. And the proposals that will be scored the highest will move on to submit, will be asked to submit a full proposal. The deadline for submitting the full proposal will be July 9th. After that, we will have, again, a scientific evaluation and an ethics evaluation, and we will have the results of the winning projects in November, beginning of November. So the first step, you will have to submit a pre-proposal. You will need to submit a pre-proposal on the pre-proposal form. You have the form on the JPIAMR call website. You can also find it in the submission platform. I will show you in a few seconds. And you will have to fill in, it's a Word document, and you have to fill 3 parts of information inside this form. Part A is the general information. You have to put the project title, acronym, keywords, and all that is listed here inside the form. The second part is the project description, project background, the aims of the call, the work plan, and all that is listed over here. This is part B. You have to fill it on the Word document. And the last part is the annexes, which you will have to add brief CV of each principal investigator, including the non-funded partners, at maximum 1 page. Please check the limitations of the pages you have in the pre-proposal form for each section, how many pages you can do. Don't go beyond it. And also, you will have to add letter of intent from each of the participating partners, including non-funded partners. And you have this, the template in the pre-proposal form. Once you filled the pre-proposal form for all the partners, you need to save it as a PDF. And then you can start with the submission in the submission platform. So the submission platform that we are using is the German PT Outline. The link to the submission, you can find it in the call text. You can also find it on the JPIAMR call site. And the first time that you enter to the platform, you will need to sign in, and you will get a password. This is how it looks like, the PT Outline. If you look here on the left side, at the upper side, you have all the things that you see that you have the application procedure, general information. You will have to fill in all the things that you filled it in the Word document. You also have to fill it here. We are sorry for this, but we need it for the evaluation. So you have to go through these sections, and you have to fill them in, the general information, all the details of the coordinator and the partners, and you will copy it from the pre-proposal which you prepare in advance. So we need only one proposal will be submitted to the PT Outline. It will be submitted by the coordinator. Please notice that some funders require submission on the national system as well. So you need to check your country's national regulations. You will find this, again, I'm pointing it out again in Annex B at the end of the call text. And you will have to see, because for some countries, you have to submit the proposal for them as well. When you go here in the PT Outline, the last section, you can see data upload. You can find also the template for the pre-proposal here. You can also find it on, as I said, on the JPIAMR website. And this document, you need to complete it and save it as a PDF, because the PDF is what you will load at the end, after you fill all the information. Please make sure to download the preview and check that the data correspond with the information in the PDF. And also, before you submit, click Verify Submission to see if there are any input errors. If you didn't fill something, or if something is not okay, then it will pop as a red mark, and then you can fill it again. Once you are working on your proposal, you can, work on it, and then you can save it and go back to it again. At the end, when the data upload, you will have to upload your PDF. After the proposal is submitted, when you press submission, you cannot make any more changes. So please check everything before you submit it. Very important, start working on your electronic proposal at least 1 week before the deadline. It takes time to put all this information. And also, we highly recommend to submit a proposal ahead of the deadline, because the pre-proposal submission deadline is 14th of March at 2 o'clock. And at 2 o'clock, it will shut down. So if 2 o'clock and 1 minute, you cannot submit it anymore. And the last thing I will tell you about, when your proposal, after you submit it, it is going to go to the evaluation panel. The evaluation criteria will be excellence, impact, quality and efficiency of the implementation. And the evaluators will also assess if the project is within the scope of the call and addresses at least one of the call's topics. You can find, I will not elaborate here, but you can find all the information about the excellence, impact, and everything in the call text. If you have any further questions after this webinar, you can contact us in this mail for the Joint Call Secretary, and you can write your questions now in the Q&A. Thank you for listening. Good luck with the proposals, and now I will